Welcome to Vinyasa Flow Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua, and we are in the last few days before the new year 2023. So today's practice is going to be a mixed bag of clearing energy flow, sort of a purification type of practice. You'll be experiencing spinal twists, back bends, forward folds. We'll move in all different directions just to help get energy flowing. So grab a couple of blocks, a strap, and a blanket, just in case, and you may even want to start sitting on your blanket. Any comfortable way to sit. So if you're familiar with law of attraction, when you are wanting to attract something in your life, or you're setting an intention for something that you are inviting in, it's really much about your vibration, more so than what you say or write down as your intention, that aligns you to whatever it is you're wanting to attract, or misaligns you. And it's good to know that we have different guidance systems, including our emotions, that help us to know where we are vibrationally. What is the state of your vibration? If it sounds a little confusing to you, you might have heard Albert Einstein say that everything is vibration, including us. And yoga directs us to navigating energy, to become responsible for our energy. And so many things we've talked about in the practice of brahmacharya, one of the limbs of yoga, entails or affects our energy. What we think, the thoughts that we give our focus to, our physical actions or non-actions, how we relate to everything, including the stimuli that we let in through our different senses, whether consciously or unconsciously. So today's practice, I'm going to invite you to really tune into what is your vibration. Moment by moment throughout the practice, I'll ask you to check in. What are the thoughts that you're feeding? How are you approaching your physical body? What is the energy of your approach? Are you coming from a place that is uplifting, like from a place of loving kindness, doing the practice physically as a means of thanking your body, for example, rather than exercising as a means of punishing your body for something you might have eaten that you feel guilty about? So think about more the energy of which you're coming from. Is your inspiration or motivation coming from a place of high vibration, like gratitude, joy, love, reaching for things that feel exciting? Or is your motivation or intention coming from a lower vibration, like guilt, shame, blame, feeling of scarcity? So we start the practice checking in, acknowledging what's present in our beings, offering gratitude, because that is one of the most immediate ways to lift your vibration from wherever state it's in. And then setting our intentions, hopefully from a good feeling place, from a place in which you know that you are connected to source, your inner being, abundance. And then we go into the practice, bringing that energy into our actions. And then we'll sit in meditation for 5 minutes in the end, putting it all together. So let's begin checking in. As you're sitting here now with your body still, maybe close your eyes and begin to scan your physical body, taking your time to notice whatever sensations are being made known to you. By letting go of judging what you observe as good or bad, or right or wrong, this allows an open flow, a welcoming state, rather than a resisting type of energy. So acknowledge your physical state as you begin. And now bring your awareness to the natural breath that's flowing through your body. sensing its qualities, how it feels. So that through this, you can become more aware of your energy, your energetic state of being. Accepting it as it is. Now bring your attention to your mind and your emotions. What's the activity of your mind like right now? What is your focus drawn to? And how is all this influencing the way you feel emotionally? Accepting your mental and emotional state right now. Then invite a deeper breath in through the nose. And if anything wants to move through sound as you exhale through the mouth, let it go. A few more times, slowing down the breath. You become a little more expansive with the inhalation. And again, releasing any sound that wants to move through you, as you can also energetically rinse or clear your energy by creating sounds like a sigh, even growling if you need to. Sort of unpacking what needs to flow through. Now bring to mind anything that you can feel gratitude for. Acknowledge as something that contributes to your well-being or feeling of satisfaction. This doesn't have to be gigantic. It could be something so simple that's right under your nose, like your breath. Now begin to choose something that brings you joy, that you would like to experience, something that feels fun, joyful to think about creating. Starting to set your intention for this practice. And now let's join our voices, creating a resonant space to share as we practice yoga by chanting Om 3 times. Inhale a little deeper. Let's continue to slow down the breath, regulating our mind and our bodies to a state of focus and calm by practicing a technique called Ujjayi Pranayama. So if you can, just breathe through your nose with your lips closed. Create a very subtle and smooth whispering sound to your breath by gently narrowing or constricting the back of your throat. Let this be a soothing sound like soft ocean waves rising and falling. And see if you can keep the same slow and even rhythm going through the majority of this physical yoga practice. And as you continue listening to that, let's make our way to stand at the top of your mat in a forward fold of your choice. Separate your feet at least hips width apart and parallel to each other. Bend your knees as generously as you need so that as you bow, you don't feel any strain in the back of your body. You can completely relax your neck, dropping your head. You might decide to clasp your hands behind your lower back or hold a strap between your hands there so that you can open up the front of your shoulders. You might catch hold of opposite elbows overhead and gently sway your spine, maybe shaking your head and nodding your head if there's any tension along the neck you'd like to release. Let's be here for a few more deep breaths, tuning into that whispering sound of Ujjayi breathing. Maybe you shimmy out your shoulders and shake out your arms. What is your body asking for you to move to help release any kind of stagnancy? Now bend your knees a lot more and see if you can tilt your weight further forward, completely dropping your head, torso, and arms, but firming in your belly. Slow inhale as you roll your spine upright, lifting your head last to stand in mountain pose, Tadasana. Rolling your shoulders back and down, turn your palms to face forward and spread your toes. Root down evenly through the four corners of each foot and lift up through the center line of your body. With your chin parallel to the ground, lift through the back of your skull. Now join your hands at your heart in Padasana, remembering your intention that you're welcoming into your experience through this practice. Exhale this breath, and let's flow through our first series of sun salutations. Surya Namaskar C. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and roll your shoulders behind you and down, gently back bending as you firm in the belly and stretch your tailbone towards your inner heels. Exhale, bow forward from your hips. Feel free to bend the knees. Place your fingertips on blocks or the floor, and inhale, step your left knee behind you to a kneeling lunge, gaze up. While holding your breath, step into your version of plank pose, legs straight or knees on the ground. Exhale as you lower your knees, then your chest, then your chin, sticking your tailbone up, hugging the elbows close. Inhale as you slither all the way to the ground and coil your chest up in cobra pose. Exhale, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward beside your left thumb and lower your right knee, gazing up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, rising in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, join your palms at your crown center, then to your heart center in Padasana. Let's take this one more time on the second side. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold from your hips in Uttanasana. Plant your fingertips on the floor or blocks. Inhale, step the right knee back into a kneeling lunge and gaze up. While holding your breath, step into plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees, chest, then chin in Ashtangasana. Inhale, lower to the ground and root the tops of your feet in Cobra or Bhujangasana. Exhale, lift your hips back into Downward Dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, step your right foot beside your right thumb. Lower your left knee and gaze up. Exhale, step your left foot forward and bow. Inhale your arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale to your heart center, Padasana. Moving into Sun Salutation A, or the second series. Inhale again, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow towards your legs, Uttanasana. Press your fingertips on your legs, blocks or the floor, and inhale, lengthen your spine forward into half forward fold. Step carefully to plank, and this time as you firm in the belly, Exhale, glide forward. Bend your elbows to hug your side ribs, passing through Chaturanga Dandasana. Then inhale either to Cobra or Upward Facing Dog. Exhale back to Downward Facing Dog. Let your body be still as you steady your gaze on one spot, listening to 3 deep breaths. When you've emptied the 3rd exhale, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat. Uttanasana. Press with your hands and inhale, lengthen forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale again, fold. Press with your feet. Inhale, rise up to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale to your heart center. One more time. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Either step to plank or lightly jump into Chaturanga Dandasana. Continue through your Vinyasa in Cobra or Upward Facing Dog. Meeting in Downward Facing Dog. Let's pause again for 3 deep breaths. As you slow down your breathing and smoothen it out, cultivate free flow of energy through your breath. Once you've finished your 3rd exhalation, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Root down, inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands together in Padasana. Now let's move into our 3rd series of Surya Namaskar B, with your feet touching each other. Inhale, bend your knees to touch, sitting low in chair pose, Utkatasana. Glide your shin bones back. Exhale, shift your weight forward and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Step to plank or float to Chaturanga. Keep going through your Vinyasa. This time when you arrive in Downward Dog, inhale, raise your right leg behind you. Exhale, gently step the foot beside your right thumb and lower your left heel. As you face forward, inhale, rise to stand in Warrior One. Exhale into Chaturanga Dandasana and continue through your Vinyasa. Back to Downward Facing Dog. Then inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Exhale, softly step the foot beside your left thumb and spin your right heel down. Face forward and inhale, rise, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower all the way down to Chaturanga, finishing your Vinyasa. Pause, Adho Mukha Svanasana, cultivating stillness, focus, and ease for 3 breaths. After the 3rd exhale, walk or float to the front of your mat. With your feet touching, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. With your knees touching, inhale, sit low in Utkatasana. Exhale, rise up, Padasana. One more time, Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step or float back, moving to your Vinyasa. From Adho Mukha Svanasana, inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale your foot beside your right thumb, left heel down. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale into your Vinyasa. Side 2. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale the foot forward, drop your right heel. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale into your Vinyasa. Three breaths, rebalancing, recalibrating to your intention. After the third, walk or float to the top. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, sit low, Utkatasana. Exhale, rise up to Padasana. Let's separate the feet hips distance apart. Roll your shoulders back. Deep breath in. Then exhale to fold, slipping your palms face up under the soles of your feet in Padahastasana. Here, bend your knees any amount you need, if needed, so that your toes can meet the inner creases of your wrists. Then tilt your weight forward and inhale, lift your chest, pressing your heart through the gates of your arms. Keep lengthening your spine as you bow from your hips, completely dropping your head, relax your neck, and lift your shoulder heads up away from your neck, perhaps by bending your elbows apart. You might shake and nod your head, maybe flutter your lips, helping to relax your jaw. Just about 3 more breaths. Then with your fingertips on blocks or on the ground outside your heels, please step your left knee behind you into a kneeling lunge. This time, scoot the left knee back another inch or 2 and see if it's comfortable enough to sink your hips a little bit deeper while stacking your right knee above your right heel. Then, without moving your legs, isometrically scissor them like you're dragging your feet towards each other. Use that to lift your pelvic floor, finding your balance as you press your hands into your right thigh and lift your frontal hip bones towards your lowest front ribs. Lift through the back of your skull and peel your shoulder heads back. Either keep your hands on your thighs for balance support or raise your arms forward and hook your thumbs, rotating your triceps forward as you plug the shoulders down and coil your chest up. Keep lifting your frontal hip bones to prevent overarching your lower back. Find the back bend mostly right beneath your shoulder blades. 3 more breaths here in Anjaneyasana. Now place your hands back onto your front thigh and slide your right heel another inch or so closer to you so that your left hip is now directly above your left knee and your right knee is directly above your right heel, preparing for a twist. Use your right hand to cup the top of your right thigh, rooting this right leg solidly still. Raise your left arm and inhale, lengthen your spine forward to trace the midline of your mat. Keep your pelvis still and firming in the belly, exhale, twist to your right, placing your left hand either on your block or the floor directly under your left shoulder and raising the right arm up, or hooking your left elbow outside of your right thigh. Whether you join your hands in prayer or open your arms apart, maybe extending the right arm overhead. You could opt to lift the back knee, coming into a high lunge here in this variation of Harita Parshvakonasana, twisting side angle pose. Land your eyes on one point of focus and steady your attention on 4 more slow breaths. Gaze down at your right foot and place your hands on your blocks of the floor. Straightening both legs, step your left foot about 5 inches forward, dropping the heel into pyramid pose. With your 2 legs straight, root both heels and slightly lift your kneecaps by flexing the front muscles of your thighs without locking your knees. Inhale, stretch your torso forward. Peel your shoulders back, and breath by breath, fold towards the inside of your right shin. Parshvakonasana. Keep a slight lift in your chest, as though integrating a little bit of the back bend you just practiced in Anjaneyasana. One more full breath. Now with your hands on the blocks, maybe tilt the blocks on their tallest height here. Lift your spine forward and step your right foot much more forward to enter triangles. So maybe another 5 inches forward. And align your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot. Place the right hand just on the right side of your right shin and rotate your right outer hip underneath you, tracking your right knee with your right middle toe. Press the crease of your right hip back towards your left outer foot. Rooting your left outer foot deeply into the earth, raise your left arm towards the sky and spin the tricep to face your left wall while extending your left arm overhead towards the front of your room. Lengthening your torso towards the front of the room. Soften your shoulders down your back and spin your chest slightly to face the sky. As you steady your eyes, steady your focus on 4 more breaths. Trikonasana. Utthita Trikonasana. Extended triangle pose. Bending your right knee, inhale, rise and side bend towards your rear wall. In Peaceful Warrior, sweeping your right arm overhead. Keep tracking your right knee to align with your right middle toe facing forward. Breathe into the right side of your rib cage and outer hip. Let's shift forward into half moon. Place your right fingertips on your block of the floor about 6 inches ahead of your right pinky toe towards the right side. Drag your left foot forward and flex it as you lift the left leg just about parallel to the floor. You might raise your left arm, spin your chest to face your left wall. Stacking your shoulders over your right wrist. You might opt to bend the left knee into Ardha Chandra Chapasana, a standing sideways bow. Catching the top of your left foot, kicking it away as you pull it towards you, while rolling your left shoulder back, can help to release tension along the front of your left thigh, hip, and even lower abdomen. Let's listen to another 4 breaths here. Whatever variation you're choosing. Staying in the posture, look at the ground a foot in front of your right toes. Then reach the left arm overhead and lower both hands a foot in front of your right foot on blocks of the floor. Rotate your left outer hip to face the ground. Tack your right outer hip back, squaring your hips. Then inhale, lengthen your torso forward. Continue to flex your left foot as you bow towards your right shin in standing split. No matter how high or low your left leg raises, let it be not as important as keeping your hips squared. Maybe you catch hold of your right calf with 1 or 2 arms. If you have space to and are feeling bold, you might kick up towards handstand. Tuning into a few more breaths where you are. Set your hands down and step your left foot to meet the right at the top of your mat, forward folds. Bring your hands to your hips and point your elbows towards the sky. Inhale to slowly rise. Padasana, join your hands at your heart and pause for a few breaths. What are you feeling emotionally right now? Notice the quality of your energy and how you're relating to your body in these postures. Resourcing from your inner being, from a place of kindness and love. Inhale, sweep your arms up to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Place your fingertips down and step your right knee back. Scoot it back another inch or 2 for Anjaneyasana. As you stack your left knee above your left heel, isometrically drag your legs towards each other. Then press your hands on your left thigh and see if you might be able to sink your pelvis while lifting your frontal hip bones towards your lowest front ribs. Lifting through the back of your neck and skull. Roll your shoulder heads behind you. And if your balance feels pretty stable, raise your arms overhead and cross the other thumb on top. Rolling your triceps forward as you coil your chest up, back bending from right under your shoulder blades for the last 3 breaths. Rising up, slide your left heel towards you enough so that your right hip can stack above your right knee and your left knee can stack above your left heel, preparing for a twist. Cup the top of your left thigh with your left hand and root your left leg solidly still. Raise your right arm up and inhale, stretch your spine down the center line of your mat. Across your waistline, exhale, twist to your left and find the variation you practiced on side 1. Whether you lower your right hand on the inside of your left leg on a block or the floor, raising the left arm, or hooked your right elbow outside of your left thigh and join your hands in prayer, or open your arms and maybe raise the left arm overhead. Maybe you also lifted your back knee, coming into a high lunge variation. Tuning into your breath. 4 more deep breaths. Harita Parshvakonasana. Twisting side angle pose. Gaze at your left foot. Lower your hands on blocks or the floor to frame it. Pyramid pose, step your right foot forward about 5 inches more, dropping the heel, straighten your legs. Inhale, raise your heart forward and lengthen your spine as you square or level your hips. Little by little, exhale to fold. Find a slight lift in your chest, integrating a back bend. Pyramid pose. Parshvottanasana. One more deep breath. Now place your left hand perhaps on a higher block and step your left foot forward another 5 inches to a wider stance where you align left heel to arch of right foot for triangle pose. Raise your right arm up and rotate your left outer hip under your body. Aligning your left kneecap with your left middle toe, tack your left hip crease back towards your right outer foot. Firm down to your right outer foot and lengthen your torso forward, spiraling your chest towards the sky. Rotate your right tricep to face the right wall. Then extend that right arm overhead and land your gaze for the next 4 to 5 breaths. Utthita Trikonasana. Extended triangle pose. Firming down to your feet, bend your left knee and inhale, rise into peaceful warrior, side bending towards your rear wall. Raise your left arm overhead. Safely align your left knee here by not buckling it into the right. Keep it tracking the middle toe and facing forward. Let's direct a few more deep breaths into your left side body. Half moon pose. Inhale, rise up. Crawl your left fingertips on a block or the floor, about 6 inches in front of your left pinky toe and to the left. Drag your right foot forward and flex it off the ground. If you bent the top knee on the first side, take it here, bending the right knee towards your belly. Catch the top of the foot with your right hand. Kick the foot away as you pull it towards you, rolling your right shoulder back so that you're pointing your right knee towards your rear wall, but not towards the ceiling. Ardha Chandra Shavasana. Sense the steady flow of breath. Gazing a foot in front of your left foot. Extend your right leg straight if it's bent. Raise your right arm overhead and place both hands on blocks or the floor in front of your left foot. Preparing for standing splits, rotate your right outer hip to face the ground. Tack your left outer hip back. Then inhale, stretch your torso forward, squaring your hips. Exhale, bow towards your left shin. You might play with kicking up to handstand if you have space. You might walk the hands closer to your left foot. Last couple of breaths. And set your right foot to meet the left, folding in Uttanasana. This time, inhale to Ardha Uttanasana. Please step to plank pose. Pause in plank for a few deep breaths. Firming in the belly, lengthening through the center line of your body. Then allow a few deep breaths to lower slowly through Chaturanga Dandasana, where you might pause for a full cycle of breath before lowering onto your belly. Slide your forearms in front of you into Sphinx pose. Then slide your knees close together, pressing every toenail firmly into the floor. Let's further open up the fronts of your hips, thighs, and lower belly. Cross your left forearm in front of you and backstroke your right arm, bending your right knee to catch hold of the big toe side of your right ankle or foot. Have your knees no wider apart than your hips distance and ground your 2 frontal hip bones to support your lower back while turning your chest completely to face forward. Let's listen to about 5 more breaths as you gently bring your right heel slightly to the outside of your right hip, relaxing your jaw, the sides of your neck, tops of your shoulders. Gently release, and please come back to Sphinx pose, sliding your knees closer together. Then cross your right forearm in front of you and bend your left knee, backstroke your left arm. Catch the big toe side of your left foot or ankle. With your knees no wider apart than your hips distance, ground your 2 frontal hip bones, turn your chest to face forward, and gently bring your left heel slightly to the outside of your left hip. About 5 more deep breaths. Notice if there's any tension springing up. Letting go of what you don't need to contract. Then let's lower the forehead to the floor and prepare for locust pose. Start by extending your arms down by your sides with your forehead resting on the ground, palms face down by your thighs. Bring your knees close together and spread your toes apart, pressing down firmly through every toenail. Actively stretch your legs long behind you so that your knees are off the floor, but your pelvis and feet are on the ground. If you have any lower back issues, keep your feet on the ground the whole posture. Otherwise, you'll lift the feet too. Inhale, coil your chest up, and lift your arms and legs. Stay for 5 to 7 breaths, rotating your shoulders behind you. Sweep your arms apart like wings. The more you roll the front of your shoulders back and down, the more you're able to turn your palms to face forward from your shoulder sockets. If your lower back is free of pain or issues, you might raise your arms overhead so your palms face each other as you look slightly down, drawing the shoulder blades down your back with your upper arms alongside your ears. Make sure your feet stay parallel to each other. Think more of length rather than lifting up. Let that happen naturally as you lengthen to your center line. Shalabhasana, locust pose. When you're done, drop everything and relaxed in stillness for 3 breaths. Our second back bend is bow Dhanurasana. We have 2 more back bends from here. Slide your knees close together. Bending them, catch your outer or inner feet. Press your pubic bone into the floor and kick your feet away as you pull them towards you, lifting your knees as you coil your chest up. Keep your knees no wider apart than your hips distance to support your lower back. Try to kick with equal pressure into each hand. Dhanurasana, bow pose. Really helpful for stimulating digestion. And when you've let it go, drop everything and rest for 3 breaths. Please press into child's pose. Pause there for just a couple of breaths. Then roll your spine upright to sit at the center of your mat for one last back bend, bridge pose. You might opt to put the skinny width of the block right between your knees and thighs and hug it for lower back support. As you line your back, bring your arms down by your sides and slide your heels back until you can almost touch them with your fingertips, but not quite. Separate your feet as wide apart as the knees, about hips distance, and parallel your feet, ground your shoulders, and tilt your chin slightly back. When you're ready, lift your hips off the floor and actively stretch the front of your thighs forward, while isometrically dragging your heels back. Walk your upper arms closer together under your back ribs and keep your arms straight. If your hands touch, you might interlace the fingers. 5 to 7 breaths. This is our last back bend. Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, bridge pose. When you're ready, exhale and slowly lower your spine. Put the block aside and wrap your right leg over your left leg like eagle pose, preparing for a supine spinal twist. Slide your pelvis about 4 or 5 inches towards the right edge of your mat. Slide your right arm wide on the floor, flat. As you ground your right shoulder and gaze past it, lift your feet and begin to twist to your left side. Rolling your right outer hip forward so that it tilts slightly towards the front edge of your mat. For a deeper release, your lower back. 4 more breaths. You roll onto your back, switch the wrap of your legs, come back to center on your mat, then sweep your pelvis 4 to 5 inches closer to the left edge of your mat. Open your left arm wide on the floor, and as you ground that shoulder, gaze past it, lift your feet. Slowly twist to your right side. Tilting your left outer hip towards the front edge of your mat. About 4 more deep breaths. You roll onto your back, Splay your bent knees to the outsides of your shoulders, lifting the soles of your feet as you catch your outer feet or shins in Happy Baby. Ground your tailbone, head and shoulders here. Maybe you opt to straddle the legs straight apart and clasp your big toes like a supine version of Upavishta Konasana. One more very long exhalation in this pose. Let's slide the hands to your outer thighs and close your knees. Rock yourself forward to sit for seated forward fold. Root to your sitting bones and separate your feet hips distance apart, flexed. Choose to either use a strap around the balls of your feet, giving yourself enough slack to slightly coil the chest up as you're bowing. Or if reachable without rounding the back, you can eventually clasp your big toes with your peace fingers. As you press your pelvis down, breathe in and lift from the base of your spine to your crown. With your heart slightly lifted and belly hugging in, exhale little by little to hinge into Paschimottanasana. Inhale, slowly rise up, and please find a comfortable way to sit for a brief pranayama of alternate nostril breathing. Nodi Shodhana Pranayama. A helpful way to relax more deeply, tune inward, awaken intuition, balance the brain's left and right hemispheres, and prepare for meditation. So sitting tall and relaxed, rest your left hand on your lap, maybe in a mudra like Pran Mudra. Place your right hand in Vishnu Mudra, sticking out thumb, pinky, and ring fingers. With your lips closed, continue to sustain your breath softly through the nose. You might gaze inward with eyes closed towards your pineal gland or the center of your brain. Let's practice 3 cycles together and 2 cycles on your own. Prepare to start by emptying this breath. Hold it out. Right thumb, close right nostril, inhale left. Hold the breath. Close left, exhale right. Hold the breath. Inhale right. Hold. Close right, exhale left. Hold. Cycle 2. Inhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 3, 2, 1. Close left. Exhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 3, 2, 1. Inhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 3, 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 3, 2, 1. Third cycle. Inhale left for 6. Hold 3. Close left. Exhale right. 6. Hold 3. Inhale right. 6. Hold 3. Close right. Exhale left. 6. Hold 3. Continue 2 more cycles. Take your time finishing at your own pace. When you finish, relax into natural breathing and observe how you're feeling. When you're ready, slowly lower your body to the ground, finding a comfortable way to rest in stillness for a few minutes in corpse pose, Shavasana. There, close your eyes, continue to breathe naturally, and let your awareness go deeper and deeper inward. With your eyes still closed, become aware of your physical body again, sensing how it feels now. Little by little, gently begin to move your body slowly out of stillness, kindly waking it up. Taking your time, roll slowly onto your right side and rest your head. Land your awareness on the breath, flowing naturally. Notice your energy now. Sense any effect of your practice. Then pressing the ground, lift your body slowly, sitting comfortably with tall spine, relaxed shoulders, rooted hips. Let's begin 5 minutes of meditation. Land your awareness on something steady. It could be the natural flow of your breath. It could be a sound that's consistent. Or it could be the subtle feeling of your heartbeat, if you can sense that. How are you feeling now mentally and emotionally? Through the state of your emotions, tune into your vibration. You can notice if energy is flowing freely and calmly or not. Now, a moment to offer gratitude, to feel appreciation for anything that you choose. Then reset your intention. And remember to whom or what you would like to dedicate the benefits of this practice to today. Sharing it beyond ourselves. Let's close by chanting Om 3 times. Inhale deeply. As you bow in, bring gratitude to yourself for your showing up today and to the light or guidance within you. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.